Level 1, the ritual. Your phone buzzes at exactly 8 p.m. The screen glows with a single message, 5 names, 5 addresses, tonight's work. You set the phone face down on the nightstand. The apartment is quiet. It's always quiet before collection night. You walk to the closet. The dark suit hangs pressed and ready. You've worn this suit on nights that changed people's lives. Tonight will be no different. You button the shirt slowly. Each button is a decision. Each decision is final. The shoulder holster goes on next. It sits against your ribs like a second heartbeat. You slide the piece into place, and the weight feels familiar. You check yourself in the mirror. Clean shave, cold eyes, no expression. This is the face that opens doors before you knock. You grab the car keys from the counter. The leather gloves go on last. They always go on last. The hallway is empty. Your footsteps echo against the concrete. Nobody in this building asks where you go at night. They already know. The rain hits you the moment you step outside. It's the kind of rain that washes the city clean, but never washes it enough. Your black sedan waits under the streetlight. You slide behind the wheel, and the engine growls to life. The list sits in your mind like a map. 5 names, 5 doors, 5 conversations that will go one of 2 ways. You pull into traffic. The city lights blur through the wet windshield. Neon reflects off puddles like spilled paint. The radio stays off. You don't need noise. The silence is part of the ritual. You drive deeper into the city's underbelly, past the closed shops and the empty corners, past the places where people know better than to stand after dark. Tonight you are the knock on the door. Tonight you are the voice that can't be ignored. Collection night has begun. Level 2, the obedient one. The first address is a nightclub on West 44th. Bass pulses through the walls before you even park. You step out of the car. The bouncer sees you and steps aside without a word. He doesn't check your name. He already knows it. The music hits your chest as you walk through the entrance. Bodies move on the dance floor like they have no worries. They don't know what's happening upstairs. You take the back staircase. The metal steps ring under your shoes. A door at the top has no sign on it. It doesn't need one. You knock once. The door opens immediately. Marco stands behind his desk with an envelope already in his hand. He slides it across the surface. You pick it up, and you feel the weight without counting. "It's all there," he says. You open it anyway. You thumb through the bills with practiced fingers. He's right. It's all there. You nod once. That's all Marco gets. One nod means he stays in business. It means his family sleeps safe tonight. It means he's smart. This is how the system works. You provide protection. They provide payment. Nobody gets hurt. Nobody asks questions. Marco pours himself a drink after you leave. His hand is still shaking. Even the obedient ones are afraid. That's the point. You walk back through the club. The crowd parts without knowing why. Something about the way you move tells them to step aside. The rain hasn't stopped. You slide the envelope into the glove compartment with the others that will follow. 1 down, 4 to go. Level 3, the desperate one. The second address takes you to the east side, a family restaurant with a faded sign above the door. The lights inside are dim. You park across the street and study the building. The closed sign hangs in the window, but the kitchen light is on. He's waiting. They always wait when they owe. You cross the street. The front door is unlocked. He left it open because locking it would only make things worse. The dining room is empty. Chairs are stacked on tables. The smell of garlic and old grease hangs in the air. Sal stands behind the counter. His apron is still on. His eyes are red. He hasn't slept in days. "I can explain," he starts. You don't sit down. Standing is a statement. 3 weeks, Sal. He swallows hard. His hands grip the edge of the counter, and his knuckles turn white. "Business has been slow. The construction outside ended my foot traffic. You said it last time." Silence fills the room. The kitchen clock ticks loud enough to sound like a countdown. Sal's eyes dart to the back door. You notice. He notices that you notice. He doesn't move. "I have half," he whispers. He reaches under the counter slowly and places a thin envelope on the surface. You look at it. You look at him. The gap between what he owes and what he's offering is an insult. "You have a daughter in college, Sal." The words land like a hammer. His face goes pale. You didn't raise your voice. You didn't move an inch. You simply reminded him what's at stake. "Full amount, 48 hours. He nods. His chin trembles. Tears are forming, but he won't let them fall. Not in front of you. You take the half envelope. It goes inside your jacket. The other half is now a timer ticking against everything Sal loves. You turn and walk toward the door. Behind you, Sal collapses into a chair. You hear it, but you don't look back. Looking back is not part of the job. The rain greets you outside. Colder now. The city doesn't care about Sal's problems. Neither can you. 2 down, 3 to go. Level 4. The ghost from your past. You sit in the car and check the mixed name. Level 4. The ghost from your past. You sit in the car and check the mixed name. Your hand stops, your jaw tightens. Danny Reeves. You know that name. You grew up on the same block. Danny lived 3 doors down from your mother's apartment. When your father disappeared, Danny's family brought food to your door every night for a month. He taught you how to throw a punch. He walked you to school when the older kids waited on the corner. He was the closest thing you had to a brother before the life swallowed you whole. Now his name is on your list. You drive to the address. It's a small gambling parlor in the basement of a hardware store. The kind of place that doesn't exist on any map. You sit in the car for a full minute. The windshield wipers beep back and forth. You're stalling, and you know it. You step out. The stairs down to the parlor are narrow and steep. The door at the bottom is dented, and the paint is peeling. You push it open. The room smells like cigarette smoke and cheap whiskey. 2 card tables sit under yellow light. A television plays a boxing match on mute in the corner. Danny sits at the far table. He's older now. His hair has gone gray. His shoulders are rounded like a man carrying something invisible. He looks up at you. He doesn't flinch. He just stares with eyes that remember the boy you used to be. I was wondering when they'd send you, he says. Your chest tightens. The enforcer in you knows the protocol. The boy from the old block is screaming to walk away. You owe $60,000, Danny. He laughs. Not a happy laugh. The kind that comes from a man who has already accepted the worst. I know what I owe. You step closer. Every step feels heavier than the last. I can't give you special treatment. They'll know. Danny looks at you with something worse than fear. It's understanding. He sees exactly what you've become, and he doesn't judge you for it. Your mother would be proud of you, he says quietly. Not for this, but for surviving. The words cut deeper than anything you've faced tonight. You reach into your jacket, and you pull out an envelope of your own money. You set it on the table. 60,000. Your money. Your problem now. This never happened, you say. Danny's eyes fill with something you can't afford to feel right now. He nods slowly. You turn and walk out before the moment breaks you. The stairs feel twice as steep going up. In the car, your hands grip the steering wheel until your knuckles ache. You just broke the only rule that matters. If the boss finds out, Danny won't be the only name on a list. 3 down, 2 to go. But now you're carrying something heavier than envelopes. Level 5, the trap. The 4th collection is routine. A dry cleaner on the south side hands over the envelope before you finish crossing the threshold. No words, no eye contact, just payment and fear. 4 down, 1 to go. The final address is a warehouse on the docks. You've never collected from this location before. That's the first thing that feels wrong. You drive along the waterfront. The streetlights thin out until darkness is all that remains. The warehouse sits at the end of a dead-end road. A single light hangs above the loading door. You park, you sit, you listen. No cars in the lot. No movement behind the windows. The silence is too perfect, and perfect silence is never natural. Your instincts scream at you to drive away. But driving away from a job means driving away from the organization. Nobody drives away from the organization. You step out. The salt air mixes with rust and diesel. Your hand moves to your belt, adjusting your gear. The loading door's cracked open, just enough for one person to slip through. That's not an entrance. That's an invitation. You push through sideways. The warehouse floor is concrete, and your footsteps echo into the dark. Shipping containers line both sides like metal walls. Then you see it. A single chair under a hanging light in the center of the room. An envelope sits on the chair. This is not a collection. This is a message. You hear movement behind you. Footsteps, more than one set, coming from between the containers. A voice echoes from the shadows. You recognize it. Paulie, your handler. The man who gave you tonight's list. Nothing personal, he says. Boss thinks you're getting soft. The Danny situation. Someone was watching. Someone always watches. Two figures step from the left, one from the right. Three men with bad intentions and clear orders. You move before they expect it. The first one reaches to block you, and you slip past his reach before he can react. You use his momentum to send him off balance. He stumbles back. The second one lunges wide. You sidestep, and he overshoots, nearly colliding with the container behind you. You pivot around him, leaving him tangled in his own footsteps. The third one hesitates. Hesitation is a tactical error in this world. You feint to move toward the exit, and as he tries to cut you off, you duck under his arm and leave him standing in the dark. Paulie is gone. Handlers never stay to see the results. You stand by the exit, 3 men outpositioned and left behind. Your breathing is steady, but your mind is on fire. They sent 3. They should have sent 10. You walk out the way you came in. The night air hits your face, and it feels like the first breath you've taken in hours. Level 6, the wait. You drive with no destination. The list is done, but the night isn't over. It will never be over. The rain has stopped. The city glistens like something beautiful trying to hide something rotten. You know the feeling. You park on the bridge overlooking the river. The same bridge your father took you fishing from when you were 7, before he vanished, before the life found you. The engine idles. The dashboard clock reads 3:47 a.m. The envelopes sit in the glove compartment. Marks cover your knuckles, not from your own blood. You think about Sal. By now, he's at his kitchen table wondering how to find the rest in 48 hours. You gave him a deadline, and it will haunt him until it's met. You think about Danny. He's probably staring at that envelope right now. Your money bought him his life, but it may have cost you yours. You think about Paulie's voice in that warehouse. Boss thinks you're getting soft. Those words carry a sentence that hasn't been fully delivered yet. Your phone buzzes. A message from a number you don't recognize. 2 words. Come in. The boss knows. He knows about Danny. He knows about the warehouse. He wants to hear your side, or he wants to end the conversation permanently. You have 2 choices. Drive to him and walk into his office. Explain yourself. Maybe you survive. Maybe you earn back trust. Maybe you spend the rest of your life proving loyalty with blood. Or you drive the other direction. You leave the city. You leave the name. You leave everything you've built. And you spend the rest of your days looking over your shoulder, because the organization doesn't accept resignations. You stare at the river below. The water is black and moving fast. It carries everything the city throws into it without complaint. You put the car in drive. You pull off the bridge. But you don't decide yet. Because that's the truth about this life. Every road forward is a road with no return. The sun begins to rise. The city wakes up clean like nothing happened. But you know what happened. You carry every door you knocked on, every name you collected from, every face that looked at you with fear. This is collection night. It never truly ends.